Jerry Jones said the Cowboys think long term. Well, of course you can think long term when you live to be 3,187 years old. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So while the Eagles get ready to play the Super Bowl, after one more whole week is going to have to go by, the Eagles are looking at 2 world championships in 6 years. Meanwhile, the Cowboys, with their owner who's 3,192 years old, is thinking long term. What the hell is wrong with this guy? Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like this content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you're, been a subscriber for a long time, just double check. Double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed and everything goes well. I forgot my pinky ring today. Damn it. I forgot to put it on. But anyways, we got to get into some Eagle stuff. And then I want to talk about this Jerry Jones thing. I was going to talk about it yesterday, but I was just so in love with everything that happened with Jonathan Gannon. But I do need to talk a couple things. First thing, Avonte Maddox. Get this. Avonte Maddox shows up today in practice wearing a boot. He's wearing a boot today in practice. And yeah, that is something to definitely be concerned about. I think we need Avonte Maddox. The Eagles they seem different when they have Avonte Maddox, and there's no weakness. There's no weakness in that secondary, So here's what Josh Tolentino said. He said, Eagles cornerback Avonte Maddox, toe rest, is being held out of practice, is viewed as a precautionary measure, and the expectation is Maddox will be ready to play in Super Bowl 57, according to a league source. Now that's great news, really, when you think about it, because the guy's wearing a boot, and usually if you see somebody in a boot, that isn't good. But if Maddox will be able to go, hopefully for the Super Bowl, that'll be huge for the Eagles. It'll be huge. Also, Aaron Sipos, fielding snaps as Brett Kern looks on. This was earlier today at practice when Sipos, I guess he's been activated, and it looks like we're going to get him back as a punter. I have not been too happy with Brett Kern, so it looks like they're going back to Sipos. I think that's a great thing, okay, because like I said, Kern, I just think he's a little old. I haven't been inspired by his punts, okay? Some of them have been horrible. Now, one of them, I think, hit something, and it really wasn't fair. What are you going to do? But I think we got to bring Sipos back at this point in time. No question about it. Now, in this game that we're going to have in the Super Bowl, to me, this is going to be one in the trenches. Obviously, I think the Eagles have a huge advantage in two ways, okay? One, the Kansas City Chiefs don't run the ball enough. That has been really the Eagles, who's texting me, biggest weakness during the season defensively. Although they got a lot better against the run later on in the year, we have struggled at times against the run. The Chiefs don't run the ball. They don't run the ball. And then the other thing is the Eagles have had 70 sacks. I don't know that their offensive line can deal with the amount of pressure. Haason Reddick, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave, Josh Sweat, Fletcher Cox. I don't know if they can deal with the amount of pressure that they're going to get this during this Super Bowl. It's going to be hopefully a big advantage for the Eagles. I think both the offensive line and defensive line, huge advantage for the Eagles, in my opinion. And I think that's where you win this game, in the trenches. The guy who scares me the most for the Chiefs, obviously, is going to be Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, hell of a player, great tight end. We have struggled at times with tight ends. I wonder if they're going to go ahead and just let Edwards and White play him, or were they going to do some things, maybe try to put Chauncey Gardner-Johnson on him? I don't know. Put Bradbury on him at times. I don't know. But you got to figure a way to limit him, because Patrick Mahomes is a great player. He elevates all the players around him. And Jason Kelce is their true weapon. So these are things we're going to have to deal with. These are things we're going to talk more about when we get, into the game and stuff next week. We got so much time before Super Bowl. I absolutely hate it, okay? But one thing we don't have as enough time as Jerry Jones. Nobody has as much time as Jerry Jones. Happy birthday to him. 3,198 years old today. The guy's 3,198 years old today. And he's talking yesterday about the Eagles and the Rams. And what he's saying is, the Rams and the Eagles went all in. They bet it all this year to win. Right? And he says, I don't think like that. I'm a long-term thinker. You must be. You're 3,199 years old today. Okay? Happy birthday to you. And you haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years. Okay? And the truth is, he's not even getting his facts straight. He's acting like the Eagles went all in. They gave everything they have, and they've sacrificed years to come for one title like the Rams did a few years. But it's just not the case, okay? The Eagles have a top 10 pick this year. They had the 10th pick overall. They're going to be picking before the Dallas Cowboys, okay? They also have one of the youngest rosters in the National Football League. My point being, this team isn't going nowhere. This team isn't going nowhere. Of course, we're going to have to replace some guys like Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. Although I got to say, I want Brandon Graham back next year. I do. You got to find a way to bring this guy back. He's just too awesome. He's just too awesome. He means too much to the heart and soul of that team and that defense. Bring Brandon Graham back. I hope Brandon Graham decides he wants to stay in Philly. I really, really do. Because I think I would love to have him back one more year. But you're going to have to replace these guys. Absolutely. No question about it. But a lot of these players are young. Think about it. You got a young quarterback in Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown's young. Devontae Smith's young. Dallas Goedert is young. Jordan Mailata, young. Landon Dickerson, young. You got Cam Jurgens to take over for Kelsey when the time comes. He's young. Lane Johnson getting a little bit old in the tooth. We're going to have to replace him. He's a position, definitely. Josh Sweat, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean. Okay? So you got a strong nucleus of young guys. If you re-sign Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, young. So where we're going to have to look, and I really don't want to talk a lot about the offseason yet. I'm just not there. I know the Senior Bowl's going on and stuff, and I've been recording and watching stuff on, but I'm just not ready there. I'm in Super Bowl mode. Okay? Although I forgot my pinky ring. You can't, what are you going to do? Hopefully there is a Super Bowl. I'm just going to say this. You see this thing with this balloon flying and the Chinese balloon flying over the United States? That's freaky stuff, man. That's freaky stuff. In my post-credit scene, I'll talk about it. But the Eagles are not just built for this year. This wasn't a situation like the Rams. If you hear little noises in the background, that's a bunch of kittens. 3.5-week-old kittens. Okay? So, because people keep asking me, what's that noise? It sounds like you got a ferret, somebody said in there, or a rabbit. So I got kittens. Man. Kittens. I can't help it. My cat likes the matrimonial duties without the matrimonial part. I do the matrimonial duties. He does cat stuff. But anyways, I'm getting off target. You have Jerry Jones, 4,000 years old today. 4,000 years old. Doesn't know what the hell's going on. The guy is obviously senile. He thinks long term. The Cowboys haven't done anything in 30 years. But he's been alive for 4,001 years. I mean, this guy thinks long term. Cowboy fans, you ain't ever going to win a Super Bowl. Maybe the year 20. Oh, yeah, I see it now. The year 2072. Cowboys are favorites to win the Super Bowl. That's what they're saying. By that point, Jerry Jones will be about 7,000 years old. So you're well on your way. What a moron. In my opinion. Jerry Jones, to me, is completely out of touch. He's completely out of touch. And, he's worried about people saying whether he's aggressive or not like that. He's completely out of touch. That's why the Cowboys don't win. What are they going to do? I think it's hilarious. Keep it up. Keep it up. That's why guys like Michael Parsons want to come play for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's why. Because Jerry Jones, happy birthday to him, 4,002 years old today. Jerry Jones is thinking long term. Eagles, we're not just thinking next year. We're thinking the next 4 or 5 years. The Eagles should be contenders for the next 5 years. Easy. Their window has just opened. Now we got to make some moves. We got to get some guys. We're going to have to take care of the corner situations, the right tackle situations. You might need another defensive end. You may need those things. You do it through the draft. If they just keep drafting SEC guys, I think we'll be okay. That's my opinion. But Jerry Jones saying that the Eagles bet it all to win this year, man, how out of touch can you be? Really, how out of touch can you be? While you're 4,004 years old celebrating your birthday today, the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. So I was going to talk about the whole China balloon thing, but I figured I'm the most censored, most throttled Eagles content creator on the internet. Probably not a good idea. So let me introduce you to Wreck-It Ralph. This is Wreck-It Ralph. That's what we call him. Because he wrecks everything. He wrecks everything. Say hi. Say hi. 3.5 weeks old. I love this dude. He's a big Eagle fan. Denzel Washington and Wreck-It Ralph. Out.